Last week, Governor Cuomo signed a new law strengthening protection for renters who are still facing financial hardship due to the coronavirus pandemic. But confusion still looms as tenants say this eviction moratorium does not completely stop landlords from seeking money or taking their tenants to court. So what rights do tenants have if they find themselves in this situation? Well, let's bring in Jennifer Hernandez. She is the lead organizer at Make the Road New York, an organization that works to provide working class communities with the support that they need. So she joins us now to talk more about this. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's talk about this eviction moratorium. It's been extended. So what does that mean?
So originally, the eviction moratorium was supposed to last till June 20th. There was an extension until August 20th. The eviction moratorium until June 20th was universal, which means that it covered everybody, no matter the situation. The eviction moratorium from June 20 to August 20 only covers people that have been affected financially by COVID. So that's one of the key differences. So officially,
how do you prove that?
How do you prove that? So your landlord has to start some sort of process in court, and you have to prove that you have been affected either through pay stubs or through bank accounts or that kind of stuff. But for a lot of folks, they might not have a way to actually prove this.
Okay, so there is that program. There's also the Safe Harbors Act. So how does that play into all of this?
So the Safe Harbor Act actually says that during the crisis, you cannot be, it's very similar to the extension, that during the crisis, you cannot be evicted if, again, you have had financial hardship due to the pandemic. So that's, again, only during the crisis, right? When that is lifted, that protection will also be lifted. But a landlord can still start a proceeding to collect back rent. And so garnish of wages can happen. So a landlord can still obtain money through other ways. Yeah. So
that back
that's
rent is
basically what
adding
the Safe
up
Harbor
because
is.
we're looking, Jennifer, at several months of folks not paying the rent because of the situation that we're facing with the pandemic. So if your landlord takes you to court for that, that could be a substantial amount of money. And courts are partially reopened, right? So they are taking these cases, correct?
So as of today, actually, they will be more reopened, but yes, they are starting to take cases today. And so a lot of landlords are starting to file eviction cases today for people that they suspect have not have financial hardship.
What can you do if you owe 3 months plus of back rent and your landlord takes you to court? What are your options?
So there aren't many options at the moment, or any options at the moment. We know that the legislative body of New York State passed a law that's called the Emergency Relief Act of 2020 a few weeks ago that sets aside $100 million to help renters, right? But those applications are not open yet. So people don't really have access to this money yet.
Isn't there something called the one-shot deal?
There's a one-shot deal. So the one-shot deal already existed, right? It's a deal that you can make, that you can ask for a small amount of money to pay immediate things, right? To pay rent, back rent, to pay utilities, whatever it is. That already existed, but it works sort of like a loan, right? So you have to prove that you have an ability to pay that in the future. For a lot of folks, if they lost their jobs and don't have jobs, right, that they can go back to, or any sort of timeline of when they can go back to and get a decent wage or some sort of formal
so there
job,
are some
that's not
options
going to
out
be an
there,
option.
but it's very limited, as you're telling us, and there's a time frame on it. All right, Jennifer, thank you for helping sort it out and explain it to us, especially those renters who are truly in need. We appreciate your time.
Thank